speaker. She led the college's graduates in the procession today, serving as their college's flag bearer. For your information, you will find a brief biography of each speaker on page 15 of your commencement program. Please help me welcome our student speaker, Ms. Taryn Parks, soon to be Dr. Taryn Parks, who has been selected as student speaker by the college's graduating class of the class of 2015.
If y'all don't mind, I just want to savor this moment for one quick second. So in case you forgot where you are, welcome to the College of Medicine 2015 graduation. Before I begin my speech, I would like to remind my classmates to enjoy everything about today. In medical school, things are always moving so quickly. We are constantly focused on not only what is in front of us, but what lies ahead. There's always a block exam, we won't list those, board exam, scheduling conflict, etc. to attend to. We very rarely get the chance to appreciate where we are for the current moment. In fact, even today, the day we become doctors, there are graduating students who are thinking about moving, their impending residency, wondering if their Uncle Rod made it to graduation. He did. Or even questioning whether they should have sold that pair of bookshelves to Cool Guy 83 on Craigslist. Whatever it is that is distracting you from complete, utter celebration of the current moment, I invite you to be present in the precious time we have left together as a class. For not everyone who began this journey with us is able to be here today. To Zachary Hauser, Zacromegaly, a student doctor who passed away before his dream of becoming an osteopathic physician could be realized, we miss you. And we all wish we could have seen the vest you had ready to graduate in. As I was thinking back over the shared experience we have had, I kept coming back to a recurrent theme: hands. As osteopathic medical students, we are taught the value of our hands from the very beginning. They were the very first set of medical instruments we ever owned. From silly to serious, our hands have represented our growth as student physicians all journey long. And so, I present a medical school montage of where our osteopathic hands have been. Began in the preclinical years, which were the 2 classroom years. Started off with the osteopathic peace sign, doing red reflex and tart. Soon, we were taking the trip down south to learn the pubic landmarks on classmates we didn't even know. We then used markers to draw on one another to learn surface anatomy, and then we all left the ink on all day like clowns. We felt like a clumsy juggler the first time we had to take someone's blood pressure, and I felt like I needed 3 extra hands to hold all of the things. We pressed our lecture clickers in rapid succession because we were certain our answer choice of B was not counted. We have carried the trifecta of anatomy, professional, and OMM attire for the feared triple wardrobe change day. We have tediously peeled away fascial layers, looking for a nerve in an anatomy lab, that inevitably you discover you severed a long time ago. We have circled a cluster of cancer cells, indistinguishable from the rest, because heaven help you if you couldn't tell the difference. We have shamelessly palpated our own body parts during an exam in order to figure out an OMM theory or anatomy question. Posterior, got it. We have lifted up our computer screens like an academic Lion King to show the proctor that our test was submitted successfully. We have held up cranial hands like an osteopathic Western shootout. We have pointed with a newfound authority and shouted, "You, call 911 and bring the AED." That's right, saving lives. We didn't go anywhere without our favorite book, First Aid. And if you're like me, crying into your hands softly every time you flip the pages to renal physiology. You've got to be kidding me. We have done practice board questions on our phone, only to calculate that in order to catch up to our schedule, you have to do 603 today. We have sat through multiple rounds of 8-hour exams and needed to use your finger at the end to follow along with the text because your eyes have completely given up on reading. And at the end of our second year, we put on our pinned short white coat with pride, knowing we were moving on to rotations. Which brought us to third and fourth year, the clinical years in the hospital. Lunch was often handheld and in the form of coffee. We performed the sanitizer shuffle throughout the day. For those of you who might not know what that is, it's an upside-down fist bump and a tornado and a quick shimmy. That is the sanitizer shuffle. And in case it becomes a dance craze, you have heard it here first, folks. When in the surgical room, being unsure what to do with your hands the first time you scrub in, and wanting desperately to scratch your own nose, and you cannot do so. Also during surgery, holding a retractor in place for hours, starving, hoping that somehow a blueberry muffin would just go into the OR. Never happened. Momentarily making the OR seasick the first time you're given control of the laparoscope, because it just doesn't happen. Finding enough Hemocolt cards in your pocket to make a full deck. Constructing 12 notes for the PE in lightning speed, only to have your hands up like a criminal at the end, so you wouldn't get red flagged. Perfecting the art of packing as a traveling, interview-ready vagabond. And at the end, or I guess at some point during our third and fourth year, we submitted the rank list that would determine our future. But with all these silly things that our hands have been a part of, we've been a part of a lot of serious things too. With our hands, we have helped deliver new life, being born into this world. We have held the hands of patients as they have passed away. We have performed CPR on patients during code blues. Some efforts were successful, some of them not. We have placed a comforting hand of empathy while delivering bad news. And we have high-fived patients who have received news that their illnesses were in remission. We have treated with OMT, and we have helped numerous patients with their pain. We have published research in scientific journals to contribute to the future of medicine. We have drawn diagrams and pictures to help explain to patients the pathophysiology of their illness. We have written birthday cards and warm holiday wishes for patients unable to celebrate at home. We have shared genuine gut-busting laughter with our patients, even during the most difficult of times. We have sung the Frozen soundtrack to distract little kids while giving them vaccines to keep them safe. We have intubated, sutured, held pressure, anesthetized, incised, and drained. Our hands have been involved in the lives of patients, from small and insignificant to meaningful and life-changing. So how can we use this power in the future? Well, remember to always use your hands. They're always with you. Do not rely on labs and studies to replace a thorough physical exam of the patient. Fix the blankets, pillows, side tables in order to maximize comfort not only while you're with them, but for after you leave. Listen as intently with your ears to what the patient is telling you as you do with your stethoscope. Patients will never go home and brag that their doctor got a champagne tap, chose the perfect antibiotic regimen, or sutured their laceration perfectly with a running stitch. They will only remember that you listened, you cared, and you were genuinely present with them. Above all, never underestimate the value of therapeutic and osteopathic human touch. As is evident, our hands have grown as we have. The healing power has existed within them all along. May we continue to cultivate this influence as we move forward in our medical careers. So, to the class of 2015, I say, almost made it. It has been a joy to be your classmate. It has been an honor to be your good friend, and it is a privilege to now call each of you a colleague. We may have entered today as students, but we will leave as doctors. Congratulations, doctors of 2015.
Wow. You guys did such a wonderful job in selecting the right person to get this address. On behalf of the College of Osteopathic Medicine, we would like you to please accept this small token of our appreciation. It is now my pleasure to introduce the keynote speaker for the ceremony today, Jason Paisley, DO, Major